Welcome back to the Michigan Business Beat, brought to you on the Michigan Business Network. Chris Holman here, broadcasting, as you can see, a little remote from my studios at home. And we're going to go kind of cross town and spend a little time with Josh Gembala. He's the Enhanced Security Services Manager at ASK, at Convergence Networks Company. And Josh, happy Cybersecurity Awareness Month.
Happy Cybersecurity Awareness Month to you, Chris.
I was going to wear the pointy hat and, I have the noisemaker, but I didn't know exactly what's appropriate.
The correct apparel would be a pirate hat.
A pirate hat. Arg. I can do that. Hey, I always hate to start with this because it seems like so negative, but what are the latest threats?
Well, this one's kind of unusual. So this is a threat that's pretty prevalent for a while now. But I think this time of year is really important that we bring it up again. And one aspect of it that we've seen a lot lately is less familiar, and that would be SMS phishing. So many of you have probably gotten an SMS message before from someone you don't know, and it contains a link. If you click on that link, it could do things like take you to the App Store, for instance, like the Google Play Store, and want you to download a malicious piece of software. It could take you to a website and ask you to log in using your Gmail credentials or your Microsoft Office 365 credentials. But the one that we've seen lately is a link that actually takes you to a website for a tech support scam. So maybe tech support scams aren't the biggest risk to businesses, but if you have elderly parents or other relatives, these tech support scams, especially as we get closer to the holidays, are real bad. We end up getting probably at least a dozen calls every year from someone whose parent went and bought thousands of dollars worth of gift cards, or went and took thousands of dollars worth of money out of the bank and then put that in a box wrapped in aluminum foil and UPS'd it to someone. It's a real problem, and making people aware of it is the first step in stopping them from falling for it.
Oh, it's crazy stuff. It's just almost insidious to say to old people, we're here to help, when they're saying we're here to take advantage.
Yeah, and having to tell them, look, you don't click on links in text messages.
Yeah, that's a hard one.
It is.
That's a hard one. So talk about recent headlines, because there's been a few things going on.
Yeah, so I think one of the big ones, or one that's going to become big, is we've recently seen some information that the National Rifle Association was attacked by a ransomware gang called Grief. They are associated with another ransomware gang that targets large organizations called Evil Corp. It's thought that they're based in Russia. And in this case, they've started to leak some NRA internal documents to the internet as kind of proof that they compromised the network. The NRA so far hasn't made a statement other than saying, look, we don't comment on internal security, but I think this one's going to be interesting.
Wow. So let's do this, because we like to give some advice. What is one practical thing that executives can do today to protect their businesses?
Well, we've been saying MFA for years, and you do need MFA. But if you are one of those organizations that thinks that you have all your bases covered, and you've got MFA, and you're doing monitoring, and you've got good EDR software, if you think you've taken care of all that stuff right now, the thing that we think is really important that everyone should be looking at is vulnerability management platforms, or even just vulnerability management process. Making sure that all of those computers on the user side of the network, and the servers too, don't just have their Windows patches, but that their third-party applications are patched, and devices, things like network hardware that you don't necessarily think of as being part of your patch management program, that you're identifying those risks and remediating them.
So anything coming down the line that guys like me, should be aware of?
This year's been pretty consistent. There is some talk of some new targeted phishing campaigns from some old players. A Quackbot, they have to have great names. It seems to be moving back into this space and bringing up a little bit of attention. Also, vulnerabilities in supply chain. So, we've seen SolarWinds, and then Kaseya, and then Zoho, all this year. So I think that what we're going to see next year is a real push in cybersecurity towards that zero trust concept, where even your vendors, they don't have that explicit trust, and that you have to isolate them and protect yourself from even vendors.
I think the most insidious thing you have to look for is those disguised messages. I talk to CEOs every day who were about to send out a $50,000 check to the office 2 floors away.
Yeah, phishing is real.
Yeah.
And wire transfer scams are a big thing. If you want to stop wire transfer scams inside of your organization, all you have to do is implement in-person multi-factor authentication. That means the person that initiates the transfer can't approve it. It's a real simple change and makes it so it never happens.
I like that. That's good thought. That's a good takeaway today, Josh. Thanks so much. We appreciate
No problem.
As always, your time. Josh Gembala, the Enhanced Security Service Manager at ASK, of course, one of the Convergence Networks companies that stands out. And I have to say, I don't want to throw a commercial at you on your way out, because then I'd have to bill you. But you guys handle our stuff, and we've never had a blip. So thanks you so much for that, too.
Thanks.
All right, we're looking at the Michigan Business Beat on the Michigan Business Network right now. I'm Chris Holman. We'll be back.